It's something that, quite frankly, most of us take for granted, and many of us complain a lot about it, and I'm talking about hair. But it has greater meaning in this book that we see right there, 20 Essential Life Lessons. It's just about hair, 20 Essential Life Lessons. And Judy Pearson is the author, and she's here to share the story and the significance behind this book. Welcome to the show. It's nice to meet you.
Thank you. Nice to see you.
I love the topic of this book because it really is such a little thing, but such a big thing, our hair. And until you stop and think about it, you go, I never really realized that.
That's very true. That's very true. And the metaphor of hair really for me was all about the little things that we worry about that really aren't important.
Right.
When I was diagnosed with breast cancer, I took my chemo-related hair loss into my own hands and shaved my head. Then I did a little research. Hair is an $8 billion a year industry, and having no hair, I saved 70 hours in a year and $1,500.
Wow.
And I realized it didn't define who I was. And that's one of the lessons in this book, is that there are so many things we fret over that really aren't all that important.
Do you find that it takes kind of that moment of clarity for most people, or for many people, to be able to get to that realization?
I think so. I'm not quite sure how these lessons came to be in my mind, other than the fact that as I was progressing through surgery and treatment, and previous to that the diagnostics, I started thinking about all of the things that I was learning, and they weren't even just cancer related. Mm-hmm. We all need to know about courage and humor and acceptance and patience, regardless of what life challenge we face.
So your life challenge was breast cancer, but those lessons, if I'm hearing you correctly, are things that, whether you have breast cancer or any other struggle in your life, the lessons are universal.
Exactly, that's exactly right. On April 8th of last year, I was newlywed. My son was being deployed to Afghanistan, and then I was told I had breast cancer. So I really had a lot on my plate, a lot to deal with. And it's absolutely true.
You say it so casually, I had a lot on my plate. Tell me, there was a moment where you at least had, like, just a little one where I thought, oh crap, I could die from this. Okay, I wanted to, because you're so poised and everything's come so full circle here with the book, but for the people that are in that storm right now, what words would you offer to them? Because you're obviously on the other side of the storm.
Right. Well, I believe very strongly in two things. First of all, everything happens for a reason, even the bad things. And secondly, we all owe a payback to humanity. And it's wonderful when the stars align, the two things come together, and this book is the result. And I don't mean to trivialize cancer. It was very scary. Mm-hmm. But my hope is that this book will help others down the same road. And regardless of the life challenges that they're facing, the 20 little lessons in this book are pretty poignant.
Is there one lesson in particular that really was kind of like, gosh, I wish I didn't have to learn that? I'm glad I did, but I wish I didn't. Is there one of the 20 that really is most profound?
I believe that, again, in facing adversity, if you flip it and not think, oh, poor me, this is awful, but rather realize that you were specifically chosen to have this adversity. And the way you handle it is not only an example to everyone else watching you, but what doctors or scientists or researchers might learn from your adversity could help thousands, millions of others down the road.
Refinement comes in those moments in the fire, doesn't it?
That is. That's very good. That's really good. Oh, you should write a book.
I am not that creative. I could do crafts, but I can't write that well. You know what I've also found interesting is that most people refer to themselves as a cancer survivor.
Not so much. And not that surviving isn't important, but when you are diagnosed with cancer, you go through the surgery and all the rounds of chemo, and for those who have radiation, it's a long haul. And to simply say you survived, no one would have told George Patton that he survived. He was a winner. And that's kind of what I think. When we beat cancer, we've won against it. So we're not only cancer survivors, we're cancer winners.
I think you could almost take that word and put it behind any of life's trials.
Right.
And you are that circumstance's winner.
That's very true.
I love the message in this book.
Thank you.
And you simplify it into 20 easy to understand tips. We're going to have all of Judy's information and her book signing information on SonoranLiving.com. But again, the book is called It's Just Hair, 20 Essential Life Lessons.